Here's a question most FPL managers never actually ask. Not who's the most talented player available, but who's guaranteed to be on the pitch. Because a player can't score a single point from the bench, no goals, no assists, not even the 1-point appearance fee. And every game week you spend backing a rotation risk is a game week where your floor could be 0. Minutes aren't a side detail in FPL. They're the foundation everything else is built on. The rules make this really concrete. Play under 60 minutes and you get exactly 1 point for showing up. That's it, regardless of what else happens. Play 60 or more and it doubles to 2. And here's a detail most managers miss. If you're subbed off after that 60-minute mark with the score still level, your clean sheet points are locked in for good. Even if your team goes on to concede after you've left the pitch, the clean sheet only gets wiped out by a goal conceded while you're still on it. So the 60-minute line isn't just a number, it's the gate that most of FPL's biggest scoring categories sit behind. Miss it regularly, and you're not just losing occasional returns, you're losing the appearance points too. Take 2 Manchester City players from this season, Bernardo Silva and Jeremy Doku. Bernardo was City's captain and about as close to an ever-present as it gets. Reported to have started roughly 34 of City's 38 league matches. Doku, by contrast, is publicly reported to have started only around 19 of those 38 in and out of the side, regularly used as an impact substitute rather than a guaranteed starter. That's genuine, well-documented rotation, not a guess. This is general football knowledge from team news and match reports, not something FPL's own data tracks directly. Now here's the twist the raw narrative usually skips. Doku actually finished with more total points than Bernardo, 120 to 102, and a considerably higher points per game, 4.0 versus 2.70, on 5 goals and 8 assists against Bernardo's 2 goals and 4 assists. So the takeaway here isn't nailed players always outscore rotated ones. The numbers just don't support that this time. What rotation risk actually costs you isn't necessarily total output. If the player is good enough to make it count when he plays, it's predictability. Bernardo's near-guaranteed 34 starts gave a stable, low-variance floor every single week. Doku's talent shows up clearly in the numbers, but you never knew, week to week, whether you were getting a start, a late cameo, or a blank. The mistake isn't picking talented, rotated players. Sometimes, like with Doku here, they still return well over a season. The mistake is assuming a strong season. Total tells you what to expect in any given game week. A rotated player's total can be built on a handful of huge returns mixed with several 0-point benchings. Brilliant for a season summary, brutal if you're relying on them the week your rival captains someone else. And don't assume a player's role is fixed either. A new signing, an injury elsewhere in the squad, or a manager's rotation policy can shift week to week without warning. So, build this habit. Before locking in a transfer, check starts across the last 5 or 6 game weeks specifically, not just the season total. A player averaging 2 starts in 5 is a coin flip pick, regardless of how good their underlying numbers look. Reserve your most essential transfers and captaincy calls for players you're confident will actually be on the pitch, and treat rotation-prone talents as calculated upside picks, not certainties. Total points tell you what happened. Recent starts tell you what's likely to happen next. In FPL, the second one matters more than people think.